few days later, Jaune opted to go alone as he felt the danger that the Fall Maiden posed was still within Vale and asked his brothers to keep the peace. Although it was more Nero smashing some heads and Dante dancing on the remains. Location: a village outside the walls of Vale. It was under attack by an S-class Grimm, King Kaiju, which was followed by groups of lesser Grimm. Jaune was on his way to ask the people and found smoke coming from the horizon, prompting him to make haste. He arrived to the village as people were running and scattering while others fought a measly defense as militia tried to keep them at bay. But suddenly bright lines of light shone in just a split second. The sound of glass breaking rang out as many of the Grimm turned to pieces. But suddenly bright lines of light shone in just a split second. The sound of glass breaking rang out as many of the Grimm turned to pieces. Jaune made sure to be in his Grimm trigger to avoid his identity being revealed. He was cutting through the Grimm's ranks until his blade clashed with Sparta, another High Grimm. Jaune, who are you? Sparta, anyone who tried to know are all dead. Then feeling his instincts, Jaune jumped away and transformed into his Sin Grimm trigger. Sparta, what form of power is this? Jaune, if you really are who you are, then I challenge you to a duel. Sparta, as you wish. He failed to register the weapon being brandished as Yamato, the weapon he entrusted to his firstborn. The two then clashed and battled, with Sparta initially getting ahead with his advantage in experience. Their blades clashed at the speed of light as they were even, but slowly Jaune was getting the advantage due to the power of his evolved Sin Grimm form. Sparta, feeling the pressure, decides to stop holding back as he gave the young High Grimm his own relentless assault, but it seemed all but futile as the power gap was in favor for the younger Grimm. Sparta couldn't believe that a higher power existed within this new evolution. He felt he should stop him before this Grimm becomes a threat. But a shout from the side stopped them both as the newcomer recognized the other Grimm by his Grimm arm. Stop! Sparta turned to see his wife angry at him. Eve, Sparta, stop. Can't you see it's our son? Sparta looked at her, then back to his opponent, and he repeated the cycle, looking back and forth as he stepped away and sheathed Force Edge. And he returned back to his human form. Sparta, the Yamato? Vergil? Jaune then dropped his form. Eve, Vergil? You have grown up so much. Jaune, greeting mother. He looks with slight irritation to his father. Jaune, father. Eve walked to him and touched his face, inspecting him. Sparta, where are Dante and Nero? Jaune, so the first time we see each other and that's all you have to say? Sparta, I didn't mean it like that, I left you in charge of them. Jaune, they're old enough to look after themselves. I am here with a request from the headmaster of Vale. Sparta, what's that old fart want now? Eve, dear, you're old too, you know. Sparta, honey, why must you be that harsh? Eve, you could have almost harmed our little boy. Jaune, let us deal with the remaining Grimm and discuss this on our way back. Sparta, you do know why we kept away from you, do you not? Jaune, there's no point in it anymore. The queen is onto us, and it would be better if our family is together to protect each other. This lone wolf crap is getting old. Eve, honey. Sparta, sigh. Alright, let's finish up here. Now the Sparta family will finally be reunited? Stay tuned to find out next time on